This is a 1952 Irwin Lancer. It's arguably the first production fiberglass car in the United States. Designed by Eric Irwin out of Costa Mesa, California. And yeah, I've done this. Better force. Everything on the car is done by me, so all the body work, paint, interior, engine rebuild, all was done by me. I bought the car probably in 2014. I've been sitting on it for a long time, and Jeff really put a fire under me to get it done in August, September, and I've been full bore getting this thing done. It's got a 59A flathead fork V8 with a Lincoln Zephyr 3-speed transmission, a Columbia 2-speed. 1940 Cadillac gauge cluster.
How you doing?
I found the car. When I found the car, it had these tail lights. These are 54 Chevy. It has 53 Buick headlights on it. Originally, it would have been some sort of Studebaker or Willys, but when I found it had them, so I just kept it this way because I thought it looked cool.
Oh, it looks great.
I kind of went for like a true sports car, custom car, hot rod amalgamation. That you know, the early idea of what the American sports car was supposed to be, and this was the idea. You know, so you got sort of the Plymouth hubcaps, kind of get that custom look. The color scheme I picked was from an XK120. I just did a color match. I just sewed up the interior quickly myself of this color, and the flathead Ford V8 kind of gives it that hot rod feel.
Fantastic. What's the windshield from?
Windshield I made, just had some bar stock aluminum, welded up, polished it.
Oh, that's great.
Plexiglass, I got to clean it up here. I used some wind lacing from a Chris Craft boat found on eBay. Yeah, like I said, the 40 Cadillac is the dash. Yeah.
See, I love when I hear that there's the use of some type of boat parts in these, given that most of these guys that were making them came from the boat industry.
Yeah, Eric Irwin was next door to Bill Tritt, and he started off as a boat builder. And he got wind of Bill Tritt making the glass bar, and so he built his and finished first. And they were all made on a male mold, not a female mold. So the finish quality was pretty bad to begin with, and then bad bodywork, bad paint. But you know, but this is accurate to what the car would have been done by a guy at home buying a body from Eric Irwin, or Eric Irwin himself building these. He built 6 complete cars, and he built it in a little wooden shed, you know, right there in Costa Mesa. So quality is, I think, representative of, you know, what it would have been. Maybe jumped the shark a bit, but here we are.
I think you're being a little hard on yourself. It looks fantastic.
Thank you.
And now this is the first Irwin Lancer to see
daylight.
Yeah.
First restored one that we know of.
70 years, basically.
70 years, yeah. You know, not unless somebody's done one and didn't know what it was, didn't know what to call it. But at this point with the internet, it's unlikely. This is probably it. Yeah.
Especially with Google Lens, right? Now, take
yeah.
a photo of this car. Okay, it'll bring Jeff's website up, and
Yep.
everything's solved. Is the hood on a latch? Is it easy enough to pop open?
Yeah, we'll pop it open. We'll take a look. Probably needed to do it anyway.
What a beaut.
Did all the engine work myself, rebuilding it. You know, finished it relatively recently. But essentially it's how we found it, except for the dual carbs. But I couldn't imagine this guy. It was bored an eighth over. It had a Weber cam. It had all this stuff in a single carb.
He was gearing up to hot rod it.
It was hot rodded, so I was like, well, it could have been changed, because I know the car was changed throughout its life. It had been painted 3 times. The interior had like 1964 Mustang seats in it when I found it. No other interior other than some piece of wood for a dash. So I knew in period it probably would have been built like this. So
I think that's a very reasonable choice.
Yep, I hope so.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, as you kind of said earlier, it was up to the individual builder to a certain extent, and the flatheads, given their prolific nature in that era, they would have been the choice.
And all of the cars Eric built were different. Some were used Studebaker parts, some used Ford, some used Lincoln, some used whatever. So the 6 cars, they were all different. So yeah, there was a lot of leeway. There was no true form.
Now, is this on the Eric Irwin designed chassis? Okay,
yes, we
good.
believe this is one of the 6 built
production cars.
Production, yeah, we'll say quote unquote, because it's to the T, to the
box frame and everything.
Frame,
yeah,
yep.
And we saw that on Jack Farr's Lancer that's being restored.
And this one has Lincoln Zephyr, 1938 Lincoln Zephyr front and rear horns cut off, and that's where the Columbia 2-speed comes from. Is from the Lincoln.
I see.
And if you look in here, and these vents and everything, these are from Lincoln Zephyr.
Oh yeah, look
the
at
wheel
that.
wells, yeah. And if you look under, you can see where they flame cut it.
Oh yeah.
And it's, you know, less than pretty, but
well, you know,
I kept all that. You see like that pillar, that C channel.
Oh yeah.
It just everything was kind of just done.
Well, you know, stick welds and
the welding
oxy torches and hacksaws.
Yeah, I mean, but it was more about getting a car, having the car, you know, your dream car, and doing it yourself. It wasn't always so professional, but that's what it is. I like it. That's just, you know, that bit of Americana, right? Where it's just a guy in his garage dreaming and could do it.
Yeah. It's absolutely great. And, you know, I like these too because the lack of doors, my understanding for why a lot of these didn't have doors is because fiberglass was so new, they weren't entirely sure if it could hold up to the rigidity of it.
Yeah, so yes, I imagine they could structure it, but I mean, he also wrote about how like the flowing lines in his Motor Trend article in 1951. I think some of it was an aesthetic thing, very inconvenient, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the body only weighed about 200 pounds, maybe a little less. I could have picked it up myself had it not been so, you know, ungainly.
Unwieldy, yeah.
Wieldy, that's the word. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, great job, Joel.
Well, I think a lot of them probably would have had doors because you had to have a door to go sports car racing.
Ah, that's right. A single door, right?
At least one single door. So we know this one didn't race, and we don't know the true provenance of this car because the guy I got it from couldn't remember jack of who he got it from, either dementia or just didn't care to tell me.
Lack of interest in saying
Lack of interest,
yeah.
But so we know it didn't race, and then finding anything if it didn't have race history is infinitely harder.
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Unfortunately, provenance is gone, but car's here.
Now, Eric Irwin actually did write a little book about how to build your own fiberglass car, right?
Yep, he wrote the first one in 51. After he built his car, he started doing that, and he started making these bodies in 52. In late 52, these were available. So he shipped them all over the world. I have a little note that he wrote to Road and Track where he was sending them to Australia and Canada. So they're out there. He said he made 12 extra bodies. Whether his memory at the time of writing it was right, we don't know. A little self-aggrandization stuff going on, but yeah, but we do know there's 6.
And this was one of the cars that was at the Big Bang of fiberglass, right? The 51 Petersen Motorama?
So yeah, yes, 51. So he beat the Glasspart G2 by a month, according to Modern Man magazine, because he built his own mail mold. He can get it out quicker. But in the 51 Petersen Motorama, this was there. Or not this one, but one just like it. Yeah, it was the Irwin Lancer was at the beginning of the whole thing.
Yeah, really incredible. Great piece of history. Great job on the restoration. It's amazing to see a restored example because we've seen so many
others
awaiting restoration, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, you know where 5 are. This is one of the 5 we know that exist. So
perfect.
Pretty cool.
All right. Thanks, Joel.
Oh, thank you.